Okay, so today is now day what? Day 3, right?
Yeah.
So what have we done the past 2 days? What was day 1? What did we do day 1? Joseph, what did we do day 1?
We broke into groups to find information for our states.
Right, what were the 2 states we learned about? Lachlan.
California and Florida.
California and Florida. So raise of hands, who chose California again? And let me see all my Florida friends. Good. All right, and then yesterday, what did we do yesterday? Who remembers? What did we do yesterday? Griffin.
We filled out the work that we didn't do at the first day.
Right, so we spent the first about 20 minutes finishing up our work from day 1, and then we finished up with what?
The graphic organizer.
Yep, and then we did what? Starts with a T. Alexa. Transition words, right? And we did that silly activity with the space aliens.
Yeah.
And how we helped them save their planet. Well, our plan to help them save their planet, right? What are some examples of transition words? What's an example of one transition word? Who remembers? Sophia, what's one? Also, what's another one? Devin.
Conclusion.
A little bit more. Little word. Yep. Say it all together.
In conclusion.
Yeah, there you go. In conclusion, Kylan. Then. Last. Quentin.
Finally.
Finally, when would I use finally and last? Probably what paragraph? My what paragraph? Leilani. Your third paragraph or your, what's the other word for that paragraph? It's called the what paragraph, Kevin?
The conclusion.
The conclusion paragraph. What word might I use in an opening paragraph? My very first paragraph. What transition words might I use? Elena. What word might In the beginning is a great one. What's another one?
Once.
Once is a great one. First. I love that one. Joseph, do you have another one?
No,
Or is Kevin?
first.
Yeah, it was a good one. All right, so today, you've all been asking me what those blue books are, right? So those are where you're going to write your drafts. So we're starting draft day today, which is very exciting. So for draft day, we need a certain structure that we want to follow, right? We have a structure. So let's talk about that structure. Can I have 2 friends help me move the board? Can Nikki and Elliot please move it? Okay. So this is going to be up on the board a couple times today. But for this paper in particular, you're going to have how many paragraphs? What does the board say? How many paragraphs? 4. We're going to have 4 paragraphs. And how many sentences does each paragraph need? Very important. Everyone should know this. Everyone?
5 to 7.
How many paragraphs?
5 to 7.
4 paragraphs. And how many sentences?
5 to 7.
Good. And each paragraph needs to be about what? A different
Different
reason. One more time, a different reason. Good job. So do we want to be saying the same thing over and over again on our papers? No, that's not really telling the audience anything new, right? So if I just keep telling the audience how great Florida's beaches are they going to know anything else about Florida?
No.
No, and there's so many great things to offer, right? Like, what's probably the best thing in Florida? Everyone should probably have their hand up for this one. What's like the best thing in Florida? Where everyone's dreams are made, Alexa.
Disney World.
Disney World, that's right. So to look at these different things about structure, we are going to look at 2 papers very quickly. So who can help me read these 2 papers? They're by 2 different authors. We've got 2 people that wrote this similar paper about California, but one paper I think it might be a little bit stronger than the other. So let's read this paper first, then the next one, and then we'll figure out which paper we think is stronger. So the first 2 paragraphs, you can kick me off. Kylan, the first 2 paragraphs, get me started.
I really like California, so I want to visit. I think it would be really fun and I could explore a lot. I also would not like to go to Florida because I have already been a lot and it's good to try something new. In my opinion, I would want to visit California. When I visit California, I want to go to Caramel by the Sea. It looks beautiful. There's a lot to do, like golfing, hiking, shopping, and going to the beach. Caramel is a very small town. There are only 3,897 people that live there. For the town being small, it is still very nice.
All right, and you can finish up this paper for me. So there are 2 more paragraphs. You can read them for me. Devin?
Caramel is very far away, so I would need to fly. I would fly Delta out of Detroit, Michigan. It costs $332 to go there. The flight is about 5 hours non-stop from Detroit to Caramel. Caramel by the sea is also pretty cold, so the weather is like the weather from back home. Overall, going to California would be really fun. I think that my family would like to try something new. Traveling to Caramel would be a fun vacation where my family and I can explore a new area of the country.
Good. All right. So what do we think about this? This first paper, what do we think? Thoughts? Christiana?
It was really good, and also they didn't repeat anything.
Good. So they didn't really repeat anything, which was good. Alexa?
It had a lot of detail.
It had a lot of detail. Joseph?
I was thinking of something, and then it's kind of like Alexa's.
Yeah, that's okay. Kylie?
It included all the reasons he wanted to and all like the details about what he would do.
Yeah. So, yeah, Lena, do you have another one?
Yeah, it's kind of like Kylin's, but each paragraph kind of states a different reason.
That's right, and I like that you guys all notice that each paragraph states a different reason. But I have a question. Do all of the paragraphs, do you think that, do they all have the right amount of sentences?
No.
No.
That's like
Yeah, they're pretty short sentences. I mean, the paper itself is not half bad, right? You guys put out some great things, like what, everything had a little, but each paragraph had different information. What else? There was some detail, but do you think, did this paper blow you out of the water?
No.
Were you like, whoa, this was a good paper? Like, I like that, about halfway up. It was good, but there are definitely some improvements that can be made, right? Yeah, Devin, Jensen, Dad?
Yeah, who made this?
I did. I wrote both of these. Okay, so that was our first paper. I would say it's an okay paper, right? There's some good stuff, and there's also some stuff that can be changed, right? It has its ups and downs. Okay, so I want 4 volunteers. So I want a volunteer per paragraph. So we'll do Nikki, Griffin, Quentin, and then Elliot. All right, do I need to make it bigger for you? Okay, you can go closer if you'd like to.
Over the past 4 years, I've been playing volleyball at Providence College. During my 4 years, I have been able to travel to both Florida and California. After being able to experience both states, I would love to travel back to California. Many of my teammates are from California and have shared stories about how beautiful the ocean is and how many great places there are to eat. I would not go to Florida because I have visited there for over 20 years. If I were to vacation in California, I would love to see Caramel by the sea and explore the beautiful area and see all the beaches they have to offer.
So what do we think about that first paragraph compared to the first paragraph above? What does this paragraph have a lot of? It has a lot of sentences, right? So we'll definitely meet that 5 to 7. What else does it have? Who can raise your hand and tell me, what else does this paragraph have? Griffin?
A lot of detail.
A lot of detail, right? So I learned a lot about the author just from this first paragraph. About how they've been to both, but they decided that they want to visit one more than the other. Caroline, do you have something else?
And they also included some information about how they've already been places, those places, and they included stuff about how they liked it better than one than the other place.
Yeah, so they also, what's that word? It starts with a C. They, I think say no. Hand raise. Elena?
Compared it?
They compared it. Great. And that's something that all of you can do in your papers as well. You can compare both Florida and California. So, Griffin, you're my second paragraph guy, right?
My dad always loved to visit. My dad has always loved to visit California. Every time we talk about doing a family vacation somewhere, my dad always pitches in a city in California, but that he wants to visit. One of the most beautiful places that he has told me about is Carmel by the Sea. One of my favorite things to do is explore and exercise, and there are many beautiful beach trails and areas to hike. Additionally, my family enjoys golfing, so I would love to visit Pebble Beach Golf Course and play a short round of the course.
Good job. Okay, so remember on my first paper, I talk about what? Going. Yeah, but more specifically, what do I talk about in this paragraph? I talk about doing what? Good, and going to the beach. Good. So in the second paper, what do I do in my second paragraph? I am more what? Someone to raise your hand and tell me what happens in this second paragraph that's different than in the first paper. Elliot.
More detail.
There's more detail. I talk about specific what?
Cities.
Specific what, Quentin?
Places and cities.
I just talk about the one city, but I talk about specific
Things to do.
Yeah, specific things to do, right? Like the Pebble Beach Golf Course, Kylan?
And you also named those things in the first paragraph, but you named them and did a lot of details and a lot of facts about it. Yeah. And the second one.
Yeah. So when it's your turn to write your paper, we'll get you one sec, bud. So when it's your turn to write your paper, you don't have to include a million beaches that you want to go visit. You can include maybe one beach and then give me detail about that beach, right? So, for example, I talked about going golfing. So I talked about one specific golf course that I would want to go to. Because there's going to be a lot that we want to do when we go visit, right? So I want to make sure that if maybe there's one thing in particular, so let's say it's Disney World, you can talk a lot about Disney World. And where's Disney World again? In what city?
Orlando.
Good. All right, my third paragraph, friend. Who was that? Quentin, I think it was you too, bud.
I am going to need to fly.
You're right here, bud. Right there.
Moreover, my family is a bunch of food
Fanatics.
We love to try new things, and the food in Caramel by the Sea area blend food from many different cultures with new twists. In order to go to Caramel, I'm going to need to fly. However, knowing my family, we could also drive for this trip. I would insist on flying. My family is going to leave from Detroit, Michigan, and fly to Caramel, California, on Delta Airlines. The ticket costs $332. When we arrive in the small city of 3,897 we are going to relax and spend 2 weeks there.
All right, hold on. So what do we think about this paragraph? What's different about this paragraph? What are some things we like? What are some things we notice? Nathan.
What airline?
Good, airline. Devin.
Showed how much money.
How much money? Good. Griffin.
How long you were going to stay there?
How long I was going to stay? Nikki.
Population.
The population. Kylan.
In the first paragraph, when you stated this paragraph, the population, you just said that it was small and then wrote the number, but you actually put detail into this one.
Yeah, good. So, yep.
You use more transition words?
Yes, that's what I was looking for. I use transition words. What's a couple of transition words you noticed in this paragraph? Good, I'm so happy you noticed that. That makes me so happy. Alexa. Moreover. What's another one I used? Quentin.
You used additionally.
Additionally. What's another one I used? Elena.
Fanatics?
Not fanatics. That's just describing how excited my family gets about food. Joseph. However, great. That makes me so happy that you noticed the transition words. So what can we do when you are writing your paper? What's something you can include? Nikki. Transition words, good. So now going to my fourth paragraph. Elliot, this is all you.
All in all, I am looking forward to traveling to Carmel by the Sea, Florida, and California. Exploring new places with my family is something I really enjoy. Additionally, the area has something to offer for every person in my family. We can play, swim, eat, and relax in a beautiful town. While Florida has some great things to offer, I want to change the area that I usually go and explore a new part of the country.
Great. So how do we feel about this conclusion? What does this conclusion do? What does a good conclusion do? Christiana.
It closes in the whole entire sentence, so it brings it all together.
That was a great way to word it. It brings it all together. Nikki, do you have something else?
It states what state you want to go to again.
Yep. Good. Quentin?
It leaves everything's for their opinion and reasons. Like, she doesn't want to go to places, she doesn't want to go to Florida because she's been there over time and she wants to explore new places.
Great. Kylan?
It states how states again how you wanted to go there and why.
Yeah. Alexa?
It says what they're going to do.
Yeah. Great. So you guys all touched on really awesome parts of a good conclusion. So I wrapped up my thoughts. I gave my final opinion. I again talked about why I would choose California over Florida. And I talked about some things I would do. Did I go into as much detail as I did in my paper? Or earlier in my paper? Did I give as much detail?
No.
I didn't give as much detail, but is that okay if I'm just wrapping up in my conclusion? Yes. So now we are going to do one more activity. Oops, that I need your help with. So I have another paper that we'll say a writer wrote, and I'm going to need your help to make sense of it. If this guy will open. So it's this guy. Okay. I'll show you. I don't really know what that means.
You have to double click it.
Double click?
Just click it once.
Just click it once?
Yeah.
Alright, I did the double click. Down where?
We're at the bottom.
Which guy?
The one right next to the people.
This one?
Yes.
What should I push? Oh, this? Oh, I don't know what that is though.